Hello and welcome back to NC State Dendrology. I'm taking a great hike on a beautiful day in late May here at Elk Knob State Park in the northwestern corner of North Carolina, right on the Ashe County and Watauga County border. And this is a great chance for us to see sugar maple. So a species way more common up in the northeastern and Great Lakes of the United States. And so this is Acer saccharum. Acer is A-C-E-R or A-C-E-R, and saccharum S-A-C-C-H-A-R-U-M. So Acer saccharum is sugar maple. This is the maple that is famous throughout the Northeast and Canada for its maple sugar properties. But here in the Southeast, we certainly see it looking like other maples that we've learned. And so what does that entail? It means we have simple and opposite leaves. This is also the leaf. I'm trying to get a nice specimen here to look at. This is the classic leaf of the Canadian flag, right? So you can see that it has these three main lobes with kind of parallel sides, but it has these two smaller triangular lobes at the base. And like all of our species in the Acer ACE, it is opposite, right? So the leaves are simple and opposite, so there's two leaves for each node. You'll also notice that these have kind of long acuminate tips on the ends of the lobes, and the other species that we've learned that sugar maple looks most like is our southern sugar maple, which is Acer floridanum. Now, the species don't overlap in geographic range, so if you're in the Piedmont or coastal plain of North Carolina, what you're going to see there is Acer floridanum. And but the species are very similar. It would be very difficult to tell them apart, except that sugar maple does make quite a large tree. This is not an especially large one here in the southern Appalachians, but they can get quite large. And Acer floridanum is a slightly smaller tree. Also, the backs of the leaves are glabrous on sugar maple, and they're fuzzy on Acer floridanum. So check the leaf backs to see if you've got fuzz. Also, the geography is really important. So you're not going to see a place where those two species overlap. I don't think. I have to check the range map for Acer floridanum. But Acer saccharum sugar maple is found in our westernmost counties of the state. Not a Piedmont species, not even really an upper Piedmont species, really. So really restricted to the mountains. We're in the very southern part of its range in North Carolina. I'm in a beautiful northern hardwood forest with the lovely Acer pencil, or it's Carex Pennsylvania sedge, or Carex pennsylvanica in the understory. That's that green grassy understory that you see. And so the whole understory is filled with this lovely Pennsylvania sedge, and it's got that kind of combed over arching appearance, this light green here at the end of May. The other difference that I want to show you is significant difference. Acer saccharum has got very large leaves compared to our other maples. It doesn't have a serrate leaf margin like red maple. It does have these U-shaped sinuses, so that's something to look for, and that's similar to Acer floridanum. But the leaves are also quite a lot larger than Acer floridanum. This one is not an especially large leaf, but Acer floridanum does not have leaves that are this large, right? So they can be 5 or 6 inches across. And another characteristic of this species is that the bark is smooth, and so it provides habitat for lots of these lichens and mosses. So you'll often see this species along with yellow buckeye in the mountains in these northern hardwood forests that have quite a lot of moss and other things. So sometimes the bark is obscured, especially on the really old trees. And the lichens are cool because as they get older and larger, you can tell that they're old lichens based on the size and diameter of those lichens. Is an indicator of how long they've been there. So that's something to look for. This species is also found in kind of rich covey forests, but really comes into its own in northern hardwood forests and is probably most dominant in those forests. And this is a really important tree, right? This is the main tree that's used for making maple syrup, where you need 20 gallons of syrup to make, or 20 gallons of sap to make just 1 gallon of syrup. So pretty amazing. We don't have much of an industry here in North Carolina because we don't have pure stands of sugar maple, but it's a really important industry up in the Northeast. So this is sugar maple, right? Also called hard maple, Acer saccharum. And this is NC State Dendrology coming to you from Elk Knob State Park.